Have you been one of them guys that have met a rider or a group of riders, rode with them once and never rode with them again? Or a rider has been speaking to you, you've told them what you've got, what bike you've got, this, that, the other, gear you've got, helmet you've got, and next thing, they're like, oh, sorry, I'm too busy now, or plans have changed, we're not going out now. And then next thing, you see that they have gone out, they just lied to you because they didn't want you to come along. Now, there's a lot of that in the bike community, as you probably know. And many people will sit here and say, a lot of people are stuck up because everyone's on different wavelengths in the bike community, which is the truth. Not everyone is as fortunate as other people. You see that even on YouTube. TikTok is the biggest platform for it. You see that the world is divided. And everyone is hating on someone that's got more than them, or they're hating because they can't be like them and don't know what they've done wrong in their life. Now, I've always said, work smarter, not harder. I'm one of them people that works very smart. And that's why I have what I have and I live the way I do. Now, not everyone's like that. But when we're talking about the bike scene, you probably have come across many people like that, where you've rode with them and then you've never heard from them again. They didn't want to meet you again. You never spoke to them again, or this, that, the other, or they're pushing you to buy this, buy that, and you can't afford it. And you're worried to say to them you can't afford it because you feel ashamed or embarrassed, and then they don't want to ride with you anyway. Now, what I'm talking about is a very simple thing that makes everybody's life easier when you're riding as a group or when you're riding out, because not only is it important to have it, I believe, because I used to ride before these were even a thing, and I don't know how I managed so long without one, to the point, all three of my kids, I bought them one. My wife has one, I have one, we all have it, because you don't realize how crucial it is until that moment when you actually need it. And what I'm actually talking about is the CARDO Pack Talk Edges. Now, if you don't know what that is, you can link up to 15 riders in a DMC. So it loops basically in a communication hub in its own DMC network. And all riders that are in your group can speak to you actively, constantly within a 1 mile radius. After 1 mile, it loses connection. But it is so useful on group rides when you've got a pothole coming up, when there's been an accident, when you're telling someone you're turning off. So many different things, and you guys can probably get the drift of why a CARDO is so important. Maybe it's saved many of you guys, maybe it's actually helped many of you as well be able to communicate, especially when someone comes off a bike. If someone was to come off, God forbid you guys, for instance, if you're way in front, you wouldn't even know. But that CARDO allows them to communicate to you. Like for instance, a couple of weeks ago, a friend of mine come off, and I could hear in the headset them saying, ow, ow, ow. And I was thinking, what the hell's happened? And straight away we slowed down, and he wouldn't respond straight away. But I had spun my bike and gone and found him on the floor. Only true I'd heard that, otherwise I would have rode off thinking, oh, he's behind, he would have got caught in the lights. That is how critical the CARDOs are. A lot of people won't believe me, but when it comes down to it, and when you're in a situation like that, that's when you realize how important intercoms are. Now, I know there's a lot of people are gonna say, oh, I don't need a CARDO. That's what WhatsApp's for. Yeah, buy a cheap Chinese headset from Amazon, be like an Uber rider, stick it in your helmet and use WhatsApp call. That ain't stable. And if you go into a built-up area, for instance, a bike meet, I'll tell you very, very honestly, if you go into like bike meets, the police lock down the whole mosques when there's big gatherings, purely for a terrorism act. And I know that because, like I said, two of my friends were police officers, and they used to say the reason you can't get signal here is because WhatsApp is encrypted and they can't listen in or see what you're messaging, so they don't allow you to use WhatsApp. You'll probably notice that you've got no 4G, no 5G, no signal in some of them places when it's all built up. Same as in London, when there's protests going on, you'll have no signal. The police turn off all the signals that you can't communicate through WhatsApp, because also people can activate bombs and things like that through their phone. So it stops all of that. It stops any kind of communication where people can plan and plot via WhatsApp or via encrypted message. The only thing you can do is make phone calls via your phone where the police can listen in and also hear what you're talking about if they have to retrace the call. That's why, if you haven't known, or if you've ever been in a big gathering, you've wondered why you've had no signal, that's exactly the reason why. Because of that reason, they won't allow you to have signal during big gatherings for that reason. Yes, you can jump on someone's Wi-Fi, but you won't be able to use WhatsApp from your 4G yourself, because using someone's Wi-Fi, they know what location you was at because you've had to put in all your details. Yes, you could put in book details, but they've got your IP when you've jumped onto that person's Wi-Fi, so they've always got a trace of you. But with WhatsApp coming through your 4G, through your mask, there's a problem, and I don't actually know if WhatsApp actually does work, because I've never tried it. Real Wi-Fi's in other areas, but what I do know is that's why your phone signals go down, because in big gatherings it's for safety, and that is why, and that is where a CARDO comes in, very, very important. How many ride-outs I do to all the events around the country with my family, with friends, and we always state to that person, we always say to them, firstly, do you have a CARDO? If not, you can't ride with us. And that's not being stuck up, that's not being selfish. That is purely because we have rode with people without it, and it's very, very hard. They will be going in front, some of them, and the next thing, how are we telling them to stop? Or we're going to be going off here, or this, that, the other. And I know people are going to say about sat-nav, but sometimes there is no sat-nav. You know, and sometimes you don't brake in time because you don't know they're going to brake, or you don't know they're stopping off, and the services, they can't communicate with you. There is no communication. And then you got them telling you they're going right or going left with their hands, or waving to you. Like, you can't ride like that. You cannot ride like that. And I do get it. CARDOs are not cheap. I've got to think, when I bought mine, I'm talking 2 years ago, they were $250. They've now gone up to like £350. Me, my 3 sons, my wife, we've all got them. I bought them, all of them, because there's no way I was riding with any of them without a CARDO. We've all got Insta360s, X3s, X4s, X5s. We've all got DJI Action 6s that I bought. We've all got the best helmets, as you'll see in these pictures. We've all got the best of the best. I don't let my kids, my wife, nobody run like crap. Me and my wife have 2 helmets. We both got CARDO headsets connected to both our helmets, so we can just disconnect our CARDO and plug it on, because we do not go nowhere without them. That is how we communicate. That is how we keep everybody safe. That's how we keep everybody together, especially during big ride outs where there's big events and there's loads of you. You're trying to find out where you are in the traffic between all these bikers and how far down you are, where you parked. That's where the CARDO comes in handy. What are you going to keep doing? Stopping and having a call on your phone. Just delays the whole process. It also takes the fun out of riding when you're having to constantly stop, use your phone, call this one, find out where they are. I see people doing that all the time, and I'm like, just get a fucking CARDO. Like, literally, why are you acting so cheap? I don't understand the mentality of a lot of people. They will buy the most expensive bike, but yet the most cheap of gear and helmet. It's like, because they've got the bike, they think they don't have to prove nothing. Or you get these people that buy the cheapest bike and buy the most expensive gear. It doesn't make sense. I don't understand why that mentality comes from. And what's that, you know, that second-hand car boot site, whatever it is that everybody uses, Kinkid or Vinted, that's it, Vinted. That's the worst place for any of you guys to buy anything, because as many of you guys know, there's a lot of scammers, a lot of crap on there, a lot of people selling helmets that have expired, because helmets have expiry dates. I'm going to be doing a video on that later on. Levers that are worn completely out, and then you've got people painting them to try and make them look good again. I don't do none of that bullshit. I've got airbag suits, airbag Under Armour, I've got Under Armour, I've got race suits, but everything's brand new. I've got so many suits for riding, it's unbelievable. My wife's the same. I think every month we'll go and buy new gear just because we can. Not because we need it, just because something else has come out and I want to dress a different way. You know, I've got the latest Supertech Rs, the R10 helmets, the Arai Tour X5. I just bought me and my wife a new helmet. You know, the Tour X5s, I've just bought us the R10s, last year? Both of us, the R10 helmets and the Supertech Rs. Bought my son the Supertech Rs as well. Like, this isn't about money. For me, it's all about safety, and a CARDO gives you safety. You know, a lot of people don't understand that. And they do go to Vinted and think, oh, a lot of people are not aware, but they end up with the CARDO Spirit. The CARDO Spirits and Freecoms are only Bluetooth, and that's for you and another rider. They do not connect with the Pack Talk Edges in DMC. So if you're going to be buying an intercoms unit, buy a CARDO. It's the best unit you can buy. I know Senna's out there, but problem with Senna is they can't connect the CARDO unless it's through Bluetooth. So they can't use the CARDO's DMC network. I think it's stupid the way they've done that, because I think a lot more riders would be willing to buy them if they could all interlink together. But the problem is, these companies essentially make money out of you by keeping their DMC network to themselves and separate. And this is why I'm saying to you guys, the CARDO kit is very, very important. And you'll notice a lot of riders will turn their nose up if you don't have one. They won't want to ride with you. I don't know how anyone can ride together without it. I don't know how I used to ride without it, if I'm honest. And you think, I've been riding since 2002, 2003. And here we are now. CARDOs, there wasn't none of that before. I don't know how I used to do it. We used to be stopped at the lights, have to flip our eyes and be shouting to the other person while the engines are running where you could barely hear each other. There was no WhatsApp back then either. There was none of this comms there. There was none of this what people have today. You don't realize how difficult it was to ride, and I really am really grateful that they bring systems out like this, because, for instance, my younger son, my other son, being all able to communicate, and not that if I ride off and leave any of them, or my wife goes a separate way and my sons are together, they can still communicate in that group together as long as they're connected together in that DMC network. Just because you're not there, they can still communicate. So it makes it so much easier and less worry when you've got a system like that while you're riding. But a lot of people don't think like that. And this is why me and my wife will say, there's loads of people. My wife is very big on social media in the riding community. And she gets a lot of people asking her, they ride out? And my wife always asks them, have you got a CARDO? Because I've always told her, I won't ride with nobody without a CARDO. It's very, very difficult. You're basically just talking to yourself, and they're just on the, what are they coming for? To ride on their own. They're not riding with you. They're riding basically on their own. It's just like going to meet, riding on the road and just joining a load of bikers along the way. They're not really with you. Do you see what I'm saying? It's so hard now. If you can't afford that, nobody wants to ride with you. And that's the God's honest truth. That's why you see a lot of people who don't have CARDOs, they mingle with their own units. And I've seen it myself. When I've been at bike places, I see all these group of riders all on their 125s or this, that, and they've all got their cheap intercoms on, they're all calling each other from a WhatsApp group call. And it's like, wow. And I get it. Like I said, not everybody is as fortunate as everybody else. Obviously, hopefully one day they will be able to get one. But they're not going to come down in price, because CARDO is American and they're very, very good for what they are. And everybody wants them. The moment they even come up secondhand, they are gone. They are gone, even on eBay. Anything to do with riding gear, anything to do with riding is sold immediately, because people are waiting for them to come up cheaper than what you can buy them for brand new. And this is why I'm saying to you guys, if you've ever had that refusal from someone, or someone making excuses, look at the intercoms you've got, or what you've told them, what intercom you've got. That'll be the reason why they've chosen not to ride with you. I don't know there's going to be people who are going to come on this video and say, oh no, I don't have that worry, I don't have this, my friends have, I don't care for it. Okay, that's fine, but there is a lot of people, especially in the UK, I know that, because it's all over TikTok where people tell people they won't ride with them unless they've got a CARDO. It's very hard. Once you've got used to having that, you don't go back. You can't go back. It's impossible, you know? And the people that do have it end up linking with us. It makes the ride very, very fun. And especially when you, like I said, you get to big meets with big gatherings. Everyone knows where they are. Everyone knows to wait up for them. There's no checking your phone, going on your phone. The CARDO just makes everything simple. And I don't understand why more people don't have them, but I know what it is. It's price. Like everyone said, when they saw all our helmets, everyone said that's like £3,000 just in CARDOs. That's because getting my helmets, you know, that's £3,000 in CARDOs we got. And everyone always likes to mention that. But, like I said, not everyone has that luxury, and not everyone's that privileged to be able to do that. But that's my take on it, guys. If you do face any of this from bikers, and you end up getting refused, or they make up that they're not going out when they are, that's why a lot of them won't end up riding with you, because if you don't have a CARDO, they ain't into it. And a lot of riders are like that. They are very CARDO only. If you ain't got a CARDO, there's no ride with them. It's very, very simple, and that's why I've had my CARDO from 2 years ago, because I've rode many groups, and every single one I've rode with all have a CARDO. It is a must. It is a big, big must, especially when you're going far as well. Thank you very much for watching. Hope you guys have actually enjoyed this video, and I hope it's been a lesson for you as to why riders will not ride with you if you do not have this. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.